Good afternoon, everyone. We will begin in just a moment.
There's another lady, but she running late.
As people are coming in, if you would mute your lines, that would be great. Three more seconds as people are coming in. Well, good afternoon, everyone. We thank you so much for coming today to today's session, Grow with Google, Sell Online with E-commerce with our partners, Grow with Google and the LA South Chamber. So let's get into it. Glad you guys could come on today. Give us 1 second. So welcome. For those of you that might be new to the SBDC, we are part of a network of 1,000 centers around the country. Our role is to help businesses start, grow, and succeed. We're also part of PCR, Pacific Coast Regional, or now PCR Business Finance, has been around for 45 years, providing services, technical assistance, and funding to the LA area and also throughout the state, actually, for funding and technical assistance. So we are so happy that you guys could join us today as we share with you this great information to help your businesses to grow and to succeed. Today is Cinco de Mayo. You guys heard the great music on. We are happy that you guys to join us. There are actually two things that we're celebrating today. One is Cinco de Mayo, a yearly celebration held on the 5th of May to commemorate the anniversary of Mexico's victory over the French Empire at the Battle of Puebla. Did you guys know that in 1862? Led by General Ignacio Zaragoza. And I might have killed that, but this is a monumental day in Mexico's history. So we celebrate with our Latino and Mexican brothers and sisters for Cinco de Mayo. And we're so happy that you guys could join us today. We are here to support you. Then this is also National Small Business Week. I'm not sure if you guys know about the great statistics for small business. In California, I'm not sure if you even know, small businesses make up 99% of businesses in the state. It's a huge number. Small businesses are an economic engine for this country. There was a report I read today that small businesses represent 40% of the national economy. So not to be played with, not to be toyed with. Small businesses need to grow and succeed because it is good for the health of our country. And we are here to assist you with your business because we want you to grow and to succeed. I'm Colette Moore. I'm the director of PCR SBDC. Happy to be with you all. I was a past business owner and also a client of PCR. I was a good client and a bad client, but I know I see some good clients on the line here. And so I'm glad you guys could join and you can learn and apply all that you have. We have some of our advisors on today. I see Joseph Duncan and Sahar as well. And there may be a few more that have come on, but we welcome our advisors on that provide you with the one-on-one advising. We also have with us, who is going to be presenting today, is Roberto. And Roberto Martinez is a founder and CEO of the Braven Agency. It's a digital marketing agency, focuses on scaling small and medium-sized businesses. He's a Google digital coach, and we've been working with Roberto for a while, and we're so happy to have him back. He keeps it all running smooth. And also, he was appointed by the mayor of LA as the city's entrepreneur in residence. And so he's been great teaching. He's run over 150, I think that's probably maybe 300 by now, Roberto, I don't know, entrepreneurial workshops in English and in Spanish. And he's worked with large companies and small companies. He's got his MBA from Thunderbird School of Global Management and a BA from UCLA, and he has a passion for humanitarian work and to help small businesses succeed. And so we also have a partner with us today, the LA South Chamber. And or South LA Chamber. I get it mixed up every time. So you can straighten us out when you get a chance to speak, Dexter, to make sure everybody gets it right. But we are so happy. We've been a partner for some years, especially with our Compton location. And this is the first time in a while that we have put together something like this. And so we're just happy to come together. So please welcome Dexter McLeod as he talks a little bit about the LA South Chamber. Thank you, Dexter. You're on.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. And thank you, Colette, and your team over at PCR. You have an all-star team over there at SBDC. And thank you for the services that you all are doing in our community in the South Los Angeles area. And we appreciate the partnership, long-time partnership. So basically the Los Angeles South Chamber of Commerce. And the reason why we named our chamber that way is because we cover all of South Los Angeles, not just South Central LA. So if we was to say South LA Chamber, then everybody would just put us in a pigeonhole and say just South LA, South Central LA, and South Los Angeles. Well, we cover all of South Los Angeles from our borders are from Adams Boulevard or the 10 freeway on the north side. We go all the way down south to Long Beach, San Pedro. On the east side, the Alameda Corridor, and on the west side, the coastline. So from Redondo Beach all the way up to Marina Del Rey. So we have a very large footprint in South Los Angeles. So that's our areas. Of course, our focus is some of those areas that has been underserved and underrepresented. That's including, of course, Watts, Compton, South Central, and those areas of like Gardena, Hawthorne. Of course, there's a chamber in Hawthorne, but and in Gardena. But however, like I said, other areas of South Los Angeles has been underrepresented and underserved. So those are the places where we have a lot of our emphasis at. So what are we and who are we and why do we exist? Okay, so I'll start with our why. We created the chamber because of that reason, because again, as an entrepreneur myself, there was a lot of, or not a lot of, let me put it that way, not a lot of resources coming in our community. My community is the Willowbrook area. That's where I grew up at in South LA, Willowbrook, which is right between Compton and Gardena and a little bit south of Watts. So not a lot of resources in the area when it comes to small business development, training, and things of that nature. So I had a challenge running some of the businesses that I have, finding those resources. So we got together with a few of like-minded people, small businesses, community stakeholders, and we created our chamber. And we are blessed to be celebrating not our 45th year, but we'll get there one day. But we're in our going on our seventh year. We started off with about 7 of us with like-minded folks. Today we represent over 400 small business, whether they're micro business, startup, sole proprietors. We have big corporations. We have quite a few of our partners. We have schools, universities, churches. So a lot of different entities that makes up our chamber. We are a diverse chamber. I know people always mostly categorize us as a Black chamber. We are not a Black chamber. We represent the demographics of South Los Angeles, and that's a very diverse demographic. So that's our chamber. So like I said, diverse in ethnicity, diverse in the types of businesses that we represent. And again, what we do is we have 4 platforms of services. Of course, small business development or business development, where we do webinars, workshops, we have training classes. We collaborate with our partners like today, PCR, SBDC, SCORE, and some other organizations, LAEDC. So we collaborate with our partners in our small business development. We have our own small business concierge team in our chamber. And what that is a list of our members that provide different types of small business services, whether it's insurance, whether it's finding access to capital, whether it's building a website, whatever services that you need, startup as far as business formation, we refer that business out to our partners. And of course, PCR is one of them. And Joseph does an awesome job. He comes out, Joseph Duncan, I just want to give him his props and shout out because he represents PCR very well and very consistently. So we do refer business that way over to PCR as well. So that's business development. Of course, like every other chamber, is networking. We do a lot of networking. We have mixers, we have open house. We just did a grand opening the other day at one of our members in Carson. They opened up a dance studio, so we were there in Carson. So a lot of networking. We do a lot of networking event. We have a full schedule coming up this summer. Stay tuned. I'll put that information in the chat as far as our website. You can always stay connected with us. So a lot of different activities and a lot of opportunities to come out and network and build relationships. And that's what networking is all about. Our third principle that we have, or third initiative that we have with the chamber, is our advocacy, because we feel that we need to have a seat at the table when you're talking about policy, when you're talking about legislation, when you're talking about just representation, and our advocacy goes both ways. It's not just us, dealing with the government and government relations and issues, but it's also community and consumer advocacy, because as you know, there's a lot of predatory businesses in South Los Angeles. And, and we just recognized the 30th anniversary last Friday of the Rodney King uprising. And it was more and bigger than Rodney King, but there was a lot of built up frustration over the years in South LA with different types of businesses. So again, we have consumer advocacy as well. So if there's a community member or business owner or somebody out there that's having a problem with another business, then of course we try to approach those businesses, build bridges if there's an opportunity to build a bridge, or communicate and have a dialogue and things like that. So that's part of our advocacy that we do as far as our initiative. The last one is our community engagement, and that's what makes our chamber a little bit different. We have a very strong initiative with our community engagement, because we feel like it's important as business owners, especially the community that you serve. You should help develop and build the community that you're serving, okay? Not just to take money out of the community, not just to go in the community and say, hey, I just want to get all the money and move and take it somewhere else and recycle the money. No, we want to engage the community, be responsible, be accountable in our community, build relationships in the community, and that's important. So we have what we call our HOPE Foundation, and HOPE, the acronym we use, is helping other people every day. And that's what we do in our businesses with our products or our service. We help other people. So that's a big thing that we do. We just had a community resource fair yesterday. We're launching our South Los Angeles HOPE Tour starting next month in June. And what that is just taking the resources to the community. A lot of different business, and we have nonprofit businesses in our organization. We have a lot of community-based organizations. So it's an opportunity for us to go into places that you want to see most people or most organizations go into, but go into places and offer those services and resources to the community. And that's just a responsible thing that you should do. Again, if you have a business in whatever community that you're in, is be connected to the community, listen to the community, and not just take from the community. So that's our chamber in a nutshell. We have a tagline: we are not your average chamber. We have a lot of things going on. Again, I'll put our information in the chat, lasouthchamber.com. You can go on that. You can see our calendar of events, upcoming events coming up. Tomorrow, celebrating National Small Business Week. Again, we've been having events all week long. Tomorrow, our schedule, we have 2 events, one at Compton College. We're co-sponsoring an event there. And then another one, and I invite all of you all to come out on 66 and Vermont Street, a place called Village Marketplace. It's a small business here in South Los Angeles, one of our members. And we're doing a member spotlight. So we're gonna have a little festival going out in their parking lot. So come on by tomorrow, 66 in Vermont, Village Marketplace. And that will be from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And come on out and you can get some information, Last thing, and then I know my time is out, but last thing is our destination guide, South Los Angeles Destination Guide. That is a new project, well, not a new project. We're going into our second edition this year, this summer, but our South LA Destination Guide is a magazine, it's a printed magazine that we publish for tourists. Unfortunately, South Los Angeles was left out the official LA Visitors Guide in years past. They did mention a few cities, a few towns in South Los Angeles, but the majority of the business were not. And so we feel like we want to attract some of those tourist dollars to recycle in South Los Angeles, multi-billion-dollar industry. We all know that Los Angeles is economy is based around tourism, is based around entertainment and hospitality. So we created our own destination guide. It is a hit. You can get a copy tomorrow, or you could go on our website and see the digital version. And if you would like to advertise in our next year edition, we are accepting advertisements. That does close out the end of this month in May. But again, I'll have all those links available in the chat. So again, thank you.
Yeah, thank you,
Marlette.
Dexter.
Thank you
I
all
have
for
read
your
that
time.
guide cover to cover, and it's a wonderful way to promote the community and the businesses they're in. So Dexter, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. I encourage you guys all, there's information Linda Sam just put in to connect with the LA Chamber as well, LA South Chamber. And so please go forth and use that. And Patrick, thank you for your question. So we talked about what the SBDC is for those that are new. If you have any other questions, we are love to answer those, and we'll put information in the chat if you do not have an advisor already. So we have two quick polls. You all know this is a workshop. We got to know, first of all, when was the last time you updated your Google profile or posted an update for your business? Put this in, please. Okay. Let's see, how are you guys doing in this area? All right. 5 seconds, hurry up, put your poll in, put your answer in. All right. Let's share the results of this poll. Oops, sorry, did I miss it? Go ahead. Okay, so you guys can see it. There were 54% that said never. Uh-oh, that's a problem. Everybody ought to have their Google profile updated. Please meet with your advisor. Your advisor can assist you, and Roberto can assist you. We have a presentation that we shared, but you'll need to meet with your advisor to get this going, because what percent use Google? I know you'll be able to share. 80%, I think, use Google for searches. So you guys got to get your profiles updated. It's critical. And if you haven't done it in a while, it's important to do that now. Thank you so much for that. It's really important to make sure that you do that. Okay. If I didn't show that. And those, for those that are a month or less, great, because that means your information is current. Your hours are current. You've got a promotion in there. I know Roberto won't be talking about that today, but we always like to ask that question because it's a starting base for making sure that you leverage Google properly. All right, and I think we have one more question here. All right, do you operate a business that sells products or services online? That's the next question. Do you operate a business that sells products or services online? Let's see. Okay, go ahead. 5 seconds. Okay. All right. And 64% of you do, for almost 40% of you don't. So this is going to be helpful for those of you that don't already. You may want to consider. So glad that you came today, but this gives Roberto an opportunity to talk a little bit about this for those that are starting or not. So one thing I wanted to do was we wanted to do just a very brief giveaway right now to those people that came on first. We have a Metro Tap card, 2 Metro Tap cards, so you can go around the city, go visit wherever you need to go, to Tish Jordan and Yetta Pratt. So we'll be getting those tap cards to you. Briogenia will reach out to you separately so you can provide that information. And so you guys showing up on time, it matters. And thank you so much, Tish and Yetta, for coming in and getting on early. All right, Roberto, it's all yours.
Colette, absolutely love it. Thank you so much. I'm going to present my screen now. Let's see here. Let's do this here. All right, and Dexter, appreciate the wealth of information. It's been a while, buddy. It's nice seeing you. Always great to see partners. You guys do amazing work. I remember his vision. He was so passionate when I met him. This is 3 years ago now, 2018. And he was like, we're making it happen. We're here. We're in our community. We're helping anyone and everyone who's starting up their own business in South LA. So I absolutely love the mission. All right, folks. We have about 40 minutes. I'll try to be as brief as possible, no matter how long it takes, because I'm here for you and I'm here to help you sell online. We have amazing giveaways today. So I want to give away something right off the bat and hold you to this. We are looking for someone who is selling a product, right? It could be you have your cafe, a restaurant. It could be you're selling shirts and cups. If you stay for the whole of the presentation, please connect with me because I have something special for you. And now I also like to say Google, in honor of Small Business Week, is providing virtual one-on-one training for anyone and everyone that wants to talk to a Google employee. These are actual Googlers. These are actual employees, full-time employees that said, hey, I want to help my business community. I want to help my small business community answer any questions they have around Google Ads, Google Analytics, or Google Business Profile. For those folks that had questions about Google Analytics, you could obviously reach out to Colette, but for only 2 weeks, just shy of, it's about a week and a day, you have the chance to actually talk one-on-one virtually with a Google product expert. And these are Googlers across the country that want to help you in honor of Small Business Week. So thank you so much for joining for today. Absolutely love the fact that you guys are showing up and showing now and being present. Really important. Some free services to give away with that. And we're going to also give away some other stuff at the end of the presentation. All right, with that, let's get into it. Let's get into the details and talk about why sell online, talk about how to showcase your product offering online using Google Business Profile, which Colette did an amazing job foreshadowing and talking about the value. And then we're going to talk about a little the worst kept secret. And one of the things that I always tell every single product company in the world, please, 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 please upload your products on Google Merchant. It's zero cost for you to do that and allows you to be found on the world's largest search engine, Google. We're going to talk a little bit about one of our partners at Google, which is Shopify, that provides you the capability of creating a website that allows you to sell online. This web platform was created solely for e-commerce products. So definitely want to touch on that. And then we're going to recap everything and answer your questions. For the moment, love to get a better sense of who's in the room. If you guys want to chat it, tell us who's in the room, what kind of product or service do you have, what kind of company do you have, and where do you find yourself? What part of the country, what part of the city, what part of the county are you in? And that way I could improve the way I present and I could really speak to your company as I'm giving you guys examples. Sahar asks, does the product have to be a real product or can it be a digital product? Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, what are we talking about here? It could be so when you say a digital product, are you talking about like a book? For me, a digital product would be something like an audio file or a PDF. So it could definitely be that. You could definitely, but I don't think the Google Merchant account has that functionality. It's only for actual tangible products that you can hold. A great question. Online programming. Unfortunately, Google Merchant account does not have that, but Google Business Profile does. So you could definitely use your online profile. All right, now we have RIP recruiting. I absolutely love it. You must be so inundated with requests with the fact that the Great Resignation just happened a couple of months ago. It's been happening for a year or so. So absolutely vital service that we need. We have executive brand services. Doria, appreciate you. Katrina, City of Industry, thank you for visiting us and being here. Pictures and Delight, well done, Michelle. Fabian, gifts and home decor. I absolutely need you. My home decor is lacking, for lack of a better word. Media, Culver City, you guys are loving. Wellness coach, absolutely love that. Mrs. Mood, mini shorthand exercises online. That makes a lot of sense. Yes, definitely take on this whole selling a product through a service, product as a service. Jennifer, always good to see you. Thank you for rejoining us today. Stair Fashion, thank you so much for joining us today. All right, I have a good sense of who's in the room. Absolutely love it. All right, so why is it so important? Customers go online. You and I know this. How do I know this? Because when you have a problem, or when you need a problem solved, what do? You reach for this little device and you start Googling something and filling out the information, comparing and contrasting different price points to be able to sell. And what do you do when you do that? You not only go to their website and see if you can buy directly from them, you actually go on their social sites and you go on their third-party sites to discover, hey, do I actually like this brand? Is this a brand that I could connect with? Is this someone that I want to buy from? And what we found when we did a survey is that 49% of shoppers buy online and then just go and pick it up, because we want that jacket, we want that cup, we want that gift for Mother's Day, and we don't want to wait in line. So what do? We buy it and we say, hold that product for me, I'll go pick it up when I'm out of work. So it's a really cool tool that allows customers to really control their agenda. We're the business owners, we're the ones that are selling. So we have to think through, how does my customer like to engage with me? Linda Sam, absolutely love you. Thank you so much for joining us. Always good to see you. And I love the virtual assistant. Okay, so we know retailers needs to be online more than ever. We just went through a once in a generational event. I think it's once in a lifetime, but I mean, that term is getting thrown around because it feels like every other year something is happening to us that's once in a lifetime. But to this point, what happened? The world shut down and people could only buy online. So this accelerated the growth of e-commerce, and we want you to come along in that growth. We want you to use the free tools that we provide you at Google to be able to sell your product and or your service online. Now, this is definitely heavily focused on product side, but there's still certain hacks that I can show you to help you sell online. And so again, super important. I have been searching for a bookshelf for the past 2 months, and I go on third-party platforms like Walmart, and I go on Amazon, and I keep looking for the bookshelf that I want because I want to look at their inventory. And so we as customers have become very sophisticated. We want their SKU code, right, with their SKU to figure out, do they have this product? Do they have it in my size? Can I order it online? And we become so sophisticated. So you as a company have to adapt to that new reality, which is extremely important. So right now what I'm doing is I'm making the case of why you need to be selling your product online. Okay, so when we're thinking about this process, how can Google help you? And where can your product live and be shown on Google? And this gives you what I call an ecosystem. It is your product ecosystem. It is where your product can live online. It could live on Google Profile, which is your Google Business Profile. You could upload all your products on Google Business Profile for free. It could live on Google Search. The moment someone types in the Google search engine, I need a new jacket, your product could pop up. It could go in Google Images. Literally, your phone now can take a picture of someone's jacket, and Google Images will try to map that exact jacket and say, you can buy that jacket at this store. And that store can be your store if you want to do it. Google Lens is that exact same tool that is uploaded to every single phone device that Google sells, like Google Pixel, but you can also download the Google Lens onto your iOS, your iPhone, if you wanted to. Most people don't realize that there's all these different ways to place your product online. And that's what we want. They're called touch points for a reason. We're consistently touching our customer and reminding them that, hey, we're here and we exist and we're here to make your life a lot easier. And then ads. We're going to talk a little bit on Google Ads? How do we communicate to our customers when they type in, wellness center, buy me? We want to make sure that your company pops up when we type in wellness center, or kebab, Turkish kebab. We want to make sure when we're in Irvine or when we're in Thousand Oaks, your restaurant pops up, or health and wellness, or Miss Moods, anything like that. It talks about how do I lose weight, how do I craft items. All those things can be uploaded to the Google search engine, and you could leverage that so that you can sell your product. So a lot of opportunities here, guys, a lot of things we can do. Let's start off with Google Business Profile. And so the first thing you can do with your Google Business Profile is create a product catalog and upload all the products onto your Google Business Profile, so that when a prospective customer searches for that product, it pops up, or when the prospective customer searches for your company, it could see that you actually have a catalog of products that you could see. And you can actually upload pictures and have a carousel for those products on your Google Business Profile. Chef Lala, love it. Great seeing you join us. Chef Nourish, I absolutely love meal preps. Chef, I would recommend highly to upload the different or the most popular food items that you sell through your meal prep program on your business profile. So this allows the customer to say, hey, I'm vegan. Here's the vegan catalog. Here's the meat catalog. I'm a big meat eater. Apparently my fitness and wellness instructor, who has drastically changed the past 2 months of my life. I went from weighing, I lost 15 pounds in a matter of a month. It's because he told me you're not eating enough protein. So he changed my diet. And so now I'm heavily protein diet, but it wasn't, if it wasn't for me searching on Google search and finding him online and then reading his reviews and then seeing the different plans that he had, I would have never known he was a good fit for me. So really cool tools available to you to be able to use, to be able to grow. Oh, specialize, even better, Chef, specialize in diabetes, cancer, and weight loss. So that's a very niche market, the diabetes piece. So how do we go about doing that? We sign in, you have to have your Gmail account. You go under your Gmail account and then you upload those products on your Google Business Profile. Now, yes, many people have gotten notifications that we're going to move away from this business profile in the next couple of months. And now you're going to have to use your Google search profile to upload these products, but you're still going to be able to do that. And you're going to upload all these little products so that prospective customers can buy from you. And then this is an example of how a product can be seen using the Google Business Product Catalog. And so you could see here, wow, it's amazing. I never knew I could upload my products right online, take a picture and have them ready to go so that prospective customer can buy from me. You don't even need a website. I mean, they could literally buy from you on the Google Business Profile. All right, so that's the first piece. Let me stop there and see if anyone has any questions, because I went through that fairly quickly because we are at 25 minutes left. So we're going through this very quickly. Any questions from our community around Google Business Profile?
And Roberto, we do have a few minutes because this was a lunch and learn. So we're
okay.
to 1:30, so you can relax there. We do have a little bit more time. So I hope that you guys have got your sandwiches and ready to dig in and try some stuff as well. So
I appreciate that. I am going to drastically slow down now. As you can see, the cadence is going to be a little bit slower. We want to make sure we address all your challenges that you have, if you have any challenges or opportunities. Okay, so now let's talk about the Google products when it comes to Google Merchant Account. Let's say you have a bunch of products that you want to use. Guess what? There's something called the Google Merchant Account. I'm surprised how many folks that I work with, if they're selling bags, if they're selling shirts, if they're selling coffee beans, they're not aware that this exists, and it's free. Let me repeat that, it's free. Now, there's a certain paid component to it, just like everything else in the world, but there's also a free component to it. And what this tool allows you to do is to add your store and the product data onto the Google search engine. And this is just for retail, just for products and service, people that sell products like shoes, jackets, pants, knickknacks, craft goods, cultural items, you name it. So let's see where your products can appear if you leverage Google Merchant Account. And I know that some folks asked us about the website. Can I use my catalog on my website? 100% you can. But I want you to think about your own business experience as a consumer, as a customer. Katrina, you might have your business profile and your business catalog online. They don't communicate with each other. You need what's called an integration, and Google Business Profile does not have an integration. So you're going to have to either do it yourself or hire someone, an intern maybe, to come on, spend a couple hours and upload all those products onto your Google Business Profile. Great question. All right. And then we have Fabian saying, if you're on Shopify, does it link already? Fabian, again, it does not link already because there are two different companies, two different platforms. And so they want to communicate with each other, but their software or their code does not communicate with each other. And so a lot of people tell me, why doesn't my Shopify connect to my Google Business Profile? Well, who's paying for it? If we talk to Shopify and we say, hey, Shopify, are you willing to pay to integrate into Google Business? And Shopify's like, why should I pay? And then you could tell Google the same thing. Hey, Google Business, can you integrate to Shopify? So someone has to pay that cost. And what you think about, well, why can't it's just for one business? But the truth is, those two platforms are servicing millions of businesses. So they're thinking, not just you, they're thinking, if I do this for one person, I do it for a million people. Now, there's third-party platforms and there's software developers, and we could get into that a little bit later. So short answer, Fabian, is no, they do not talk to each other. I love that question, Sahar. Sahar knows her thing. So there's something called Zapier, and Zapier is a third-party application. And a third-party application allows you, it's like your back-end software code, and allows you to integrate with all kinds of third-party platforms like email, like text messaging, like paid ads. So it's like your hub. You can think about it as your wheel, and all these spokes are connecting into it. But I am not a Zapier advocate. I am not a Zapier employee, nor am I a Zapier vendor. So you have to talk to Zapier, Zahar, to see if they integrate with Google Business Profile. My suspicion is that they do not. They integrate with a lot of great platforms, but Google Business Profile is not one of them. And Linda Zam, great question. Same thing goes with you. I don't really know. We do use Zapier within our own company, and we never use Zettlr, so you're going to have to cue me in on that, Linda. See, I love this. I love the fact that you guys are so well versed when it comes to software development. Our community definitely can do this. All right, so let's see what products can appear. So this is Google search results. And so what you're seeing here is that you might be eligible to use your product line and pop up during relevant keywords or key phrases. So here's an example, right? Let's say someone wants to buy a specific type of spice. So you see this prospective customer typed in buy fenugreek, the spice house. And so what ended up happening was, because they updated and uploaded their images and their product line onto Google Merchant account, those images appeared. So you ever wonder, why are those images appearing? Well, that's because there's a customer, a company that uploaded those businesses onto the Google Merchant account. Now, let's say some of us never knew this existed, and I'll be one of those individuals that a couple of years ago I didn't know existed. And this is someone that worked with Google for the past 5-6 years. You know, Google Shopping. So let's say you're looking for that product. What happens? You could go on the Google search engine and go on the tab, and you could scroll to different search tabs and see shopping. And there you can qualify and be able to list different products that you have within the Google quote unquote shopping tab. And this allows you to list your products for free. Isn't that amazing? So when anytime anyone is looking for your particular product, and if you listed it within Google Shopping using the Google Merchant account, it allows you to list your products there. Really cool functionality at no cost to you. So Chrissy, great question. For Google Shopping, no. To upload your product line, no. To advertise, yes. So remember that slide I shared to you a little bit earlier, where it had the little spoke and the little wheel, and they had all these spokes coming out and all the different ways that your product can pop up. There are certain free versions of that, which is Google Business Profile is one of them. Google Search is another one. Google Shopping is another one. But this, on the slide before, are all ads. So if you want to run Google Ads, that's definitely going to cost you. It's not going to be free. Okay. And that's the example that we have. Shopping ads, when the prospective customer is searching for those keywords, they could pop up. You have to opt into that option using Google Ads. You must first list your products on the Google Merchant account, and then you will create a campaign using Google Ads. So remember we talked about Zapier or Shopify and Google, and do they integrate? Do they communicate with each other? Two software tools that are communicating with each other and with his back. Well, guess what? Google Merchant is also, it's going to definitely communicate with Google Ads. It is in their vested interest to communicate, so they can definitely show your ads. So want to be 3 different examples. Want to be very clear, your products that can show. This is the only one that can't charge you, right? The other ones, they're optional. Google has the option of showing your products free for you at no cost. This is actually, you're telling Google, no, I will pay. I will put money down so my ads pop up. So these keywords and key phrases trigger my display ad or my shopping ad to pop up. Okay, let me stop there, Sahar. So here, I don't know if you're asking a question there or you're making a comment, because so here's asking about going away. It is not going anywhere. It's just the Google Business Profile, the way you manage it, that is going away, but not you having your business listed on the Google search, on the Google Maps. That's not going away. So I completely understand your trepidation, and I could empathize with that trepidation, because there's a lot of assumptions. We don't know what's going to happen. The truth is, we don't know, right? I'm never going to be a token figure for Google. I will always tell you what I know and where I feel, because I am also a business owner, and it matters to me very much how we show up and if we show up authentically to our community. So Sahar, I do not know what's going to happen and how it's going to be affected. Right now, it's just speculation until it happens. Right now, when it comes to SEO, you have like 3 threads there that we can definitely filter out, and so that we can kind of address the 3 different thoughts. You have the first thought, which Google Business Profile, which we don't know how that's going to affect it. I can tell you right now, Google's telling us that it's not going to affect it. That's the first question. The second piece is, will it benefit people that have multiple locations? I would assume it does, but that doesn't mean that they're a big corporation. That could be a small company. I know multiple friends that have multiple restaurants and they have multiple locations. Now, when it comes to making SEO and how it affect SEO, SEO is always going to be one of those things. Google Business Profile is always going to benefit you when it comes to SEO, but that's not the only thing that SEO does. It's really dependent on your website. And that's really what you should focus in on when you're thinking about SEO. How do I improve my website? And then the last piece is, well, we need to spend more effort. Again, I don't know if we're going to need to spend more effort. I always invest into SEO in the form of content creation. That is indirectly affecting my SEO. If I create great content, great videos, great blogs that inform people like you that have these questions, I would love to do a whole blog with you. I think it would be a great Q&A. We could go on LinkedIn and talk about it in the public forum and say, what do these changes look like? And what are some fears we have as a community when these come about? That's a great conversation. So again, coming in and being able to communicate these fears or these potential opportunities is the way I would see it. How do we get in front of the curve now that that algorithm might change so that we can be found on the first page of Google? I love the question. Richard, thank you so much. And then most of our clients, I understand that, Sahar, and being single locations, it just depends on the scale. But you still have Google Maps and Google Search, and your business will still pop up as a Google Business Profile. Great question, Norma. Norma, if you register your Google Business Profile, you can definitely connect to it. Yeah, I hear your feedback. I would love for you to shoot me an email, Sahar, and I gave my information. I'll give it to you again. I'll be more than happy to flag that within our community partners to let them know what someone like you, and I'm assuming you're an agency, is fearful All right, Nina says, Roberto, I'm a startup trying to create a mission-based product for women, but I need help with Google and search. This is how I go from here. Is there someone who can help? Yes, great question. You have amazing resources. You have Colette and her team at PCR. You have Dexter at the Chamber. You have me. You have a lot of different partners. At the end of the day, when it comes to SEO on Google, SEO is search engine optimization. And all that means is that when some prospective customer types in my keywords and my key phrases, we want our company to pop up. And that's extremely important for us. It's extremely important for anyone who's a small business. So how do you go about doing that? Well, you have to invest into your messaging strategy. And that is a whole other conversation for a later time. Feel free to reach out to me or reach out to Colette and her team, or reach out to Dexter. We are more than happy to help you here. But when it comes to SEO, it's an investment. It's definitely not something that you as an entrepreneur can do overnight. It's something that you have to invest day in and day out long term. Happy to talk to you about that a little bit later. What is the first step? Do I need to obtain copyright? I don't quite get the question. So I can't really answer that. Is WooCommerce or Shopify better integrated with Google? Chef Lala, I love the question. They're all different. Each one has their strengths and their weaknesses. It all depends on where you stand, right? Which one do you feel more comfortable with? Or inversely, who did you hire to work with those businesses when it comes to Shopify and WooCommerce? Because those are two different platforms. It's like saying, which one do you like more, Toyota or Honda? They're two different companies. They do the same thing. They take you to point A to point B, but the benefits are a little bit different. So it depends on what you feel more comfortable with, because ultimately, and what your web developer that you hired feels more comfortable. That's a great question. I love these questions. Which one do I prefer? So I cannot tell you for your specific case, because I need to look at your specific case. Here's the beauty, and I love that we're getting into this, and I love that I don't have to rush here. I love that we can take a step back and kind of parcel each thing into pieces, because this is really important. When it comes to your website and to using merchant accounts, and when you're using Google Business Profile, what we're really talking about is there's no one size fits all. It's really important to understand this. And for a long time, marketers have been trying to do this idea of general marketing. Like, hey, I'm a marketer, I could do everything. Well, the truth is, we're becoming specialized. The more we work with businesses, the more you realize that, hey, like no one in the world, not you, not me, not anyone, goes to the doctor or a dentist, or you have an issue with your knee and says, well, I want the 5th best knee surgeon or the 10th best knee surgeon. No, you want the best knee surgeon. Or you go to a dentist that does root canals and I want the worst, or I want the top 10 or top 20. No, you want the best dentist that does root canals. And that's specialization. You want people that are really, really good at their one product. Well, same thing with you as a business. You want to specialize. And when you specialize, you can charge a premium. So what does this have to do with websites? What does this have to do with WooCommerce versus Shopify? Well, when you start thinking about your business, Chef Lala, it's very, very specific, right? You are a chef that directs and provides special meal prep for diabetes and for folks that want to lose weight. That's very niche. So you need a product, and you need tools around that product line that are as niche as you are. So we have to look at both tools and see which one really, really speaks to your nicheness. Maybe WooCommerce, I don't know. So this is all theoretical. I do not know. Maybe WooCommerce has a functionality that allows you to create programs for diets within 5 clicks, versus Shopify does not have that. Right? It does not allow you to drag and drop. So now you're like, wow, my business is very unique. I need this specific solution. And this company has that solution to the problem. Now, the workaround, when you ask me that question, and really what I'm saying is the classic MBA answer, it depends, because you are distinct and unique. So when someone asks me, what's your favorite website platform? Well, it depends. What kind of business are you? I want to be very specific. If you're a product line that has a lot of clothing, you can't go on with Shopify, you can't go on with WordPress. If you're a service as a product, which is what you are, you're offering a service as a product, which is your service is creating the meals. Maybe you actually create the meals, which is actually a product. But if you're just giving them a menu and you're sending them out, this is what you should be eating every day, that's different. That's a service. Well, then I recommend other platforms. So it all depends on which platform best speaks to your need. Okay. Does e-commerce involve obtaining copyrights for my materials before showcasing? Again, very specific question. I love these questions because they speak to the need to be very, of course, Chef Lala, very specific to your specific company. Well, it depends what kind are you showcasing. Are you buying from a catalog and just reselling the product? Or are you creating the actual product and then selling it? Those are two distinct things. If we have partnered with a third-party distribution producer that's given us a discount and we are the reseller of that discount, then that's a conversation you need to have with your distributor, not with your marketing agency. It's your distributor. And you could tell them, hey, can I remarket that? Can I reposition that? Am I going to be in violation of copyright? That's a great question. I absolutely love that. I get that all the time. Katrina asks, are we able to upload with an Excel sheet? We're going to go through that example, Katrina. I love bringing us back to the messaging. Okay, so let's talk about that. How do you go about using Google Merchant? I'm going to latch on to that question. We create an account, we upload the products, and we showcase across Google. So let's go step by step. First thing we want to do is we want to go to Google Merchant account. We want to register with our Gmail account. We want to go to g.go/merchant center. Then you're going to start uploading all the information of your business on that merchant center. It's very, very similar to another platform called Google Ads, very similar, and you update that information. And then here's a really important part. Where are you going to send your customers, right? Really important. So think about it like this. When you walk into a grocery store and you want to buy eggs, do you wander all the aisles until you find eggs? Or do you look up, where's the fresh produce and egg section? There it is. And you beeline it to that section of the grocery store. This is what Google, in essence, is asking you. This is what's called user experience and understanding how to create what's called information architecture on your website, which is a clear path to conversion. What's the least amount of steps I need to take to buy from that particular company? And inversely, for you as a business owner, what's the least amount of clicks my client has to do, my prospective client has to do to buy from me, to actually purchase that product? So that's what Google's asking you. Do you have a clear-cut page where your item is listed? So we just send that customer to that place and it allows them to buy. Okay, now the other way you can do it is you want them to buy directly on the Google search engine. So like they could see that ad, click on it and buy. And the other way is you could Google could drive them to your actual location of your store. And as you see, free for the website, free to drive that prospective customer to your location, but there is some third-party fees, and this is considered like your POS system, your point of sale system. So Google's not that. That's your PayPals of the world, your Squares of the world. You can integrate there, and then they charge you a transaction fee for servicing you. All right. Now, everyone was asking us, what other tools do you use? Remember I talked about PayPal. You can definitely use tools like Shopify to connect to your Google Merchant account. But again, it's not a seamless connection. Remember we told you that Google has integrated somewhat with Shopify, but it's not one of those things where Shopify is now automatically connected to your Google business profile. What this is saying is, can we connect to your website? Can Google Merchant account connect to your Shopify website account so that we can communicate with each other? Really, there's a big distinction there. It's not for your Google business profile, but rather your website. And you can integrate with that. You can also integrate with PayPal if you happen to have PayPal. And then the other questions they're going to ask is, would you like to stay abreast of all the different things that are happening within the Google Merchant account? Yes or no, and it's your choice. You can choose, you could opt in or opt out. All right, just doing a quick temperature check on how much we got going, how much time we have. Looks like we're good. Okay, so what's the back end look like? That was the front end to register. Now we're going to take a look at what's behind the curtain. So this is what you're going to see. You're going to see an overview, the products that you can upload, the performance, how we're doing, how many people are coming in, how many people are seeing our products, how many people are buying our products, are we running ads? Are these ads converting? Are we remarketing those ads? What is a remarket? Ask me if you guys are interested, ask me on the chat question. If you guys aren't interested, I'll answer that later. The other thing that's extremely important is that we want to verify that your business is your business. So Google's going to ask you to verify your business. And there's certain ways you can verify your business. There's 3 primary ways. If you already have a Google Analytics account, it's going to ask you to connect to that merchant account with the Google Analytics account. The second way is if you set up your Google Tag Manager account, you can connect to the Google Tag Manager. And the third way is to add your HTML files to the website. And this allows your backend coding file to be connected to your website. And it's called the script or the code that your particular website has. And Google will give you the script. You copy it and you paste it on the header and footer of your website. Okay, now the second piece is we have it set up, we have it connected or communicating with each other, time to upload the product. So they asked me, was it Excel? Can we upload it? How is the best way of doing it? So there's multiple ways to do it. You could do individual products, or you could do multiple products, or you could do the combination of the two. So individual products, you literally go in there, write out the names, inform Google piece by piece by piece what that product happens to be. When you do a multiple ad, you can upload it using a third-party platform, and you could use Google's tool, which will scrape your information and would upload the information in a way that's synced. Obviously, it's unique and distinct, but to answer your specific question, yes, Google does allow you to use a Google Sheet. Now, what's the difference? A lot of people are like, Rob, what's the difference between Google Sheets and Microsoft Excel? Well, Microsoft Excel is owned by Microsoft. Google Sheets is what Google has as an alternative to Excel. So you would have to use a Google Sheet to upload your actual product lines. So hopefully that answers your question. Arnett says she loves Shopify. Love it. All right. So finishing up with this, you select the Google Sheet and you have 2 options: upload a template or upload an existing spreadsheet. And this allows you to do a bulk upload. So there's certain things that we need to have in our Google Sheet for that. And it's like ID, title, description, link, condition, price, availability. And so this is the variation that you're going to have to list for each product line on the Google Excel sheet, and then upload it to the Google Merchant account to have all the products uploaded. So this actually, it's not something that's simple to do. It's just time consuming. And this is something that, you know, we offer this, we work with clients, we've offered this in the past to help them do this at bulk, because it takes a couple hours. It's not something that's super easy to do. Yes, it does, Katrina. It does tell you exactly. I mean, you're right on top of it. Like, your foreshadowing is amazing, impeccable. Okay. So then after you're done, which items are eligible to show up? Katrina, that's a great question. When I say, so Google does not help with this. You can hire an intern, you can hire a marketing agency to do this. This method is very similar to other methods for other third-party platforms like Walmart, like Amazon. It's a very similar system. So agencies provide this service. So now that you uploaded your products, what happens? Well, now you can have your product pop up on Google Search, Google Shopping tab, Google Images, Google Lens, and if you want to run ads, on Shopping Ads. So you can definitely integrate your Shopify with your Google Merchant account, as we said earlier. Katrina, definitely happy to talk about it a little bit later. You might qualify if you stay for the rest of the training with an opportunity that we're going to give away for one lucky small business that's based in the South LA section of town. All right. So what is Shopify? I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because it is not the company that I work for, but it's a great company. I have great friends in those companies and Shopify, and they do a great job. So it's an e-commerce website platform that allows you to sell your product online, and it connects to Google. They did a relationship last year and they said, hey, we need to integrate with you guys. Let's figure this out. So both parties came together and figured it out, which is great. And the whole mission for Shopify is to make commerce better for everyone. And so there's over 1 million merchants, over 175 countries, and they sell a lot, 155 billion in sales. Now, this is not a free platform. I think they charge $39.99 a month to have their most basic software solution, e-commerce software solution. And so we all know that we have to go online very quickly. And so you saw a big jump, and it allows you to sell your products on your own and personalize that website as how you would like to see it. Now, this is a high gloss version of it. Obviously, if you have a web developer or a marketing team to create it, you can definitely reach out to them. I could definitely point you to the right direction if needed. How do you get started? Well, you have a free trial. It lasts about, I think it's 2 weeks. Don't quote me on that. It used to be a month, but now I think it's 2 weeks. It's free, doesn't cost you a dime. And it lets people type in your email address, and you get started there. You kind of fill out the information. What are you selling? What is your projected revenue? And then what industry are you in? And then they have a great amount of content there to walk you through how to set it up and how to manage your business page. And so super easy to add and remove items in your inventory, build a backend, track the inventory, group collections like the fall collection, the summer collection, the winter collection, and they can be imported in, like we said earlier. And again, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, you could do it and you can add all the items individually. And the best part is it has an integration now. So every Shopify account will allow you to integrate with different third-party platforms like Google. And so this is the opportunity that you have if you do have Shopify to integrate with Google. And that way it starts communicating with one another, and then you can cross promote. But I will be remiss if I didn't say it's never as seamless as that. There's always going to be glitches just because it's technology, as you know, and nothing's perfect. So it's there, it definitely helps you and definitely connects with your platform, but it's not by any stretch of the imagination perfect. So you'll still have to go in there and update it yourself and make sure that everything ported over very quickly. And so what it's going to ask you once you connect to Shopify is, would you like to connect to your Google accounts? And this is where it asks you, and then they're going to ask you do you want to, or do you meet the basic necessities and requirements to be on the Google Merchant account? And it's going to do that very quickly. It's going to assess if you do, it's going to go down the line. It's going to say yes, 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 no, yes, yes, yes. And then it's going to ask you if you want to sync. Now, a lot of businesses have called me. It's like, hey, I don't know what's going on with my Google Merchant account. It didn't work. I synced it with Shopify. It's wrong, your pricing. So please keep in mind, they try the best they can, but you obviously have to go in there and do it yourself and make sure everything is properly formatted. Norma says, yes, of course you can, Norma. Happy to share this. And so this is going to show you your backend information, what you can do, and you want to select the Google Merchant account, configure the product settings, and it's just, at the end of the day, really there, you have to go in there. This presentation makes it seem very simple. It's not that it's not simple, but it is a very process intensive manner of uploading your material. But once you have it, you can sell on Google Search, you could sell on Google Shopping, and you can integrate it with Shopify, which is the best part. Yeah, I love this quote. You don't have to be good to start. You just have to start. That's 90% of entrepreneurship right there. You're not supposed to know all the answers. We all can be vulnerable. We're going through this journey together. The important thing is just to start. All right. With that, I'm going to talk about some additional resources to you all, and then I'm going to open it up to Q&A to see if anyone has any questions for us. Fabian, great question. We do not cover the Shopify rates between Shopify and Google. I would connect with Shopify customer resources, not knowing anything else. Our friend asks, is it possible to move your Wix website to Shopify? So that's a great question. So let's say you're selling on you're selling your products in the certain website platform like Squarespace or Wix or whatever it happens to be, and you want to move it over to Shopify for whatever reason. Can that be done? Yes. Can it port over? Can those two platforms communicate with each other? They cannot. They cannot communicate with each other. They don't like each other. They're competing against each other. So they do not want to be able to do that. But a web developer can go in there and basically scrape your information on Wix and then upload it to Shopify. Does that cost money? Yes. It's not free. You're paying for the person's time and energy and understanding and experience. Like, what's the average cost? The lowest that I've seen is $2,500 to get that done. And how long does it take? About 5 weeks. 5 weeks will be, if you're really responsive, if you're on top of it. The fastest I've seen a website turnaround is a month, but that's because we had all the information. All right, hopefully that answers your question. All right, with e-commerce, it's very hard to compete with the big players who offer next day free shipping. Gary, you have a great point. Depends what you're competing on. And this is a whole other conversation, and I'd love to open that up. So Gary, hold on, I'd like to double click on that comment, and I'd like to give you my perspective on that and how I can help you. All right, additional resources. Obviously, we want you to grow your business. I want you to go to Grow My Store and figure out all the different services we can provide for you, all the different tools that Google has for you. And they'll tell you, just type in your website there, click, and they'll tell you all the different things you can do to grow your e-commerce. If you want to find local opportunities, you can go on Local Opportunity Finder and help you find people that are online, that are open to connect with prospective customers. And so this is a great way to figure out how to connect with other businesses in your ecosystem. If you want to learn more about all these different Google tools and services, we have what's called Grow on Air, completely free. Consume the information at your own leisure. And with that, I'd love to thank you and open it up for questions and answers that you have. But more importantly, like to do two things as well. First and foremost, I'm going to share my contact information with you so you guys can shoot me an email, and I'll give you my Google email address. Now, any questions pertaining to anything outside of Google, you'll have to email my marketing agency question, because Google obviously is not going to pay me to answer questions about their potential competitors. And I don't want to get in trouble either. So if you have any Google questions, direct them to my Google email. If you have any non-Google questions, direct them to my personal business account. And the other thing I want to talk about very quickly is, if you are a product-based company located in South LA area, please, 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 please reach out to me. I have a great opportunity. We can definitely create different, give you some potential free services at no cost to you, including websites, but you have to be located in the South LA area, all the way down to Inglewood area. So let us know, and I'd love to open it for Q&A and see how I can help you. I'm going to share my screen one more time and share my contact information for you all to have, so that in the event that you have any questions after this presentation, you can shoot me a quick question, and I will respond within 24 hours. If it's the weekend, it's going to be 48 hours. So if you allow me to do that. And then the second thing is, I'm going to drop our survey, because Google measures everything and they want to make sure that you might want me to come back. You might not want me to come back. You might say, Colette, never invite Roberto back to present to us. He was terrible. Fire him on the spot. Or no, he was great. You want to make sure he comes back and shares his knowledge about marketing to our community. All right, let me just share my screen one more time, and then I'll hand it over to Colette and answer any questions that folks have. Here's the survey. Here's the presentation that you guys can see. Whoops, let me share my screen before I do that. And then we'll turn it over to Q&A. All right, that is my contact information. Feel free, oh, it didn't format correctly. Let me make sure it's formatted correctly. You know what, I'm just gonna remove this, delete that, delete. See, telling you guys technology. We're gonna use this slide. You guys can see this. Here we go. So there's my contact information. This is the Google one. So any questions pertaining to Google, feel free to shoot me an email on that. Any questions pertaining outside of Google, shoot an email to that. That's my marketing agency email. All right. I'll give you guys a few more seconds. And then if you guys have any questions, feel free to type them in the chat box. Okay. Any questions? Oh, you guys are great. You guys made it super easy for me.
Well, thank you guys. I just want to say that anybody on this call, raise your hand or put a thumbs up if you are doing e-commerce. I'm so proud of you guys because this is like not easy, but so many of you are doing it and you have figured out how to do it. So I see you, Rosie, excellent. Nina, great. I think, or unless that's a question, Althea, great. I am just amazed that you guys have done this because it is not easy. And even though Roberto made it simple as it is, as it can be, but the fact that you guys are doing this, but I want to encourage those that do not have e-commerce that it's not too hard. Other people on the call are doing it and they might have gotten help to do it. But and that was one of my questions. Roberto, do you recommend that people get a consultant to help them in this process of setting up their e-commerce? Is this something they can, so they should know how it's done so that they can understand what's needed, but is it helpful that you've seen people to move forward if they have a consultant to help do it for them or not?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. I absolutely love that question. It's one of those things that I just start is a great, like in theory, but it really depends on the business owner. And what do I mean by that? Like, so it's situational. And it's two things: resources, i.e. money, and time. It's like, do you have money? Do you have time? If you have money and don't have time, hiring someone to do this for you is going to be your best bet. If you have money and have time, you are curious about this and you're like, hey, I wouldn't mind knowing, then a consultant would be ideal. Bring in the consultant, they'll walk you through it, they'll train you, and you'll learn as you go. Would I recommend that? Potentially. I'm a big believer in specializations. So like, you're good at this, you do that. You're good at this, you do that. I do what I'm best at, and I'm gonna focus on that, and then we'll collectively work together in our business to grow it. And then the other piece is that you don't have money and you don't have time. Well, then you're in a tough position. Use the resources like PCR, use the resources like the chambers. Keep attending these events. That's what we created the Grow with Google program, to help businesses like you who might need a little bit more hand-holding and don't have the resources to invest. Because, you know, asking for someone to create a website for you on the low end, a website right now will go anywhere from $3,500 to $5,000 on the product side. And the reason why, people are like, why is this so expensive? It's because it's time consuming. It's what's called sunk cost, which means you literally have to, as a web developer, be physically in your computer, typing in each product individually, uploading each product onto the website, making sure it's not glitchy. We had clients before that had over 300 units, 300 products to upload to their website. That doesn't happen in an hour. 300 you have to upload and change the SKUs, change the information. That's just time consuming. And to create it from scratch, it's not going to take a day or two. It's going to take weeks, if not months. And so it's very labor intensive, even though it's online. But the way I always see it, okay, if I invest X amount of dollars, what's my return on investment, and how soon can I get that return on my investment? So these are the questions as entrepreneurs we have to think about. What is it worth an investment? I think if you're an e-commerce platform, it does matter to have your stuff online because it's the way the world is going, and it's worth investing a couple $1,000s to have that online presence to be able to sell.
Great, thank you, Roberto. And also, you know, maybe you don't start with your 300, you start with your top sellers that you know are going to sell, make sure that those are working well, and then you can add as you go along. So that may be another one.
If I can I add on real quick what Roberto said, Colette?
Yeah,
Just
go
want
ahead.
to add on, and you're absolutely right. The investment, it seems like a lot on the front end, but when you look at a comparison, say if you go go into a lease with a storefront business, I mean, you have a 1 year, 2 year contract where you spend that money every month. This is, you know, building a website and then getting your SEO part of it. You just can't have a website to just sit there. You have to have a very active website. Look at that as your store. Look at that because that's exactly what it is. And you're reaching a lot more people on that e-commerce platform rather than sitting in a brick and mortar places waiting for people to come to you. Retail has changed. The position and the way, the posture of how people do business and transaction has all changed now. So that initial investment, although it may seem like expensive, 3,000 to 5,000, overall, if you look at the long term, the ROI, like Roberto said, you know, and it's tax write-off. Thank you.
I love that, ROI. Any other questions? We just have a couple of more things and then also to award the prizes. So if you would hold on for just a second. And if there are any other questions, we can come back. We have a few more minutes. But what I love is that Roberto and Dexter were talking about financial fitness, return on investment. That is something that we want all of our businesses to be very good at. That's how you sustain. So if I ask, are you profitable? If you're not raising your hand, let's make that a yes, I will be soon, or I'm planning on it and I have a plan to make sure that I'm profitable, and that's how you can become a sustainable business. So with that, we have a lot of financial fitness courses, business profit projections, the income statement, what it means, how to do that. We also are talking to California Bank and Trust will be presenting on lines of credit. Many of you need to understand what you're doing in terms of a line of credit, when to apply it, when to ask for it, how it works for your business, and then also types of business loans. So for those that are looking for funding, whether it's a line of credit or a traditional commercial type loan, these would be very helpful for you. And we want you to have great profit projections and great profit so that you can stay and survive a long time and succeed. Go ahead, Arnetta has your hand up. Was that on purpose? Go ahead.
Hi, just glad, more great info. Love connecting with PCR. It's not a question. I just want to say, folks, I know a lot of conversation was in the chat about e-commerce sites and which platforms to use. I just want to stress that anybody that's doing e-commerce and you've got a site and you've got products where folks can click and buy, communicate all those email addresses that you collect, whether online or just through your networks, communicate with those folks at least once or twice a month. Say, hey, I got a new product. It's on sale. Click buy. I'm telling you, my sales go out the roof when I send an email saying, hey, I just got this. I just posted this new product. So yeah, it's you don't sleep on your email contacts. You will really surprise yourself.
Excellent. And bring them back to your website for more products. So excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Arnetta.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then last thing, we do have a list of other workshops. So I'm hoping that you guys you can take a picture here or scan that, and it'll take you to the many webinars and workshops that we are hosting. And then for the prizes, we have the one e-commerce consultation and then a one free website review and consultation. So who shall it be? Or who is it? Who was it? China Embryogeny, can you help with this?
I think we're asking a question from the presentation. So Roberto, if you have a question, and then whoever writes the correct answer in the chat first. So first come, first serve. Sorry if you can't type that fast. You come off of mute and shout it out, that might help you. But whoever has the correct answer first with Roberto's question from the presentation will win these two prizes. We have two options of prizes. So the first prize is going to be for one session or e-commerce consulting with Roberto.
And Nina's asking, is it LA based? It's LA area. So we cover
doesn't matter.
the whole LA
Yeah.
area. So go ahead. Okay, Roberto.
All right, the first question was, the first question is, how many channels? So remember that circle and the different spokes. How many channels, those are the spokes, the different opportunities, do you have to sell using Google Merchant Account? So they clearly outlined your product, and then they talked about the different places you can sell your product using Google Tools. So I'm going to give you guys one free one. I'm going to say on your Google business profile, you can sell your product. Now there's 5 other ones. Can someone list the 5 other channels that you can sell using Google Tools?
So they have to list them, not just state the number. Patrick was first with the number. All right, Patrick, can you state them?
Let's give it to Patrick. He got 6. That's completely right. Patrick, great job. Doing it. Ayana said she got it right too. We'll give it to both of them. How about that? Patrick was the first one. Ayana was the second. We'll give you guys some free consulting. Please reach out to me in person. It's Roberto Mar at google.com. We'll set it up for next week, and we'll get you a free audit. The second question is, this is an easier one. I had a Shopify slide, and in that Shopify slide, I asked, I told you how many merchants were on the Shopify page, and it starts, it's a number. So how many merchants are on the Shopify platform?
I don't know if this one was easier, Roberto.
Tish got it.
Okay, there we go. 1 million.
1 million, Tish, good job. That's exactly right. It's 1 million. So if Tish, hopefully you're a product-based business. If you are, reach out to me. We have some amazing free stuff for you. Reach out to my personal email, and we'll take care of you in the next week and get you set up.
All right, excellent. Somebody asked to get back to this slide. I think they were doing the quick scan. So we'll leave that up for just 1 second, but I honestly think that concludes our time. We needed the extra time today. We're so happy to have the South LA Chamber with us. LA South Chamber, I got it. I'm looking at Dexter.
You got it right.
For that link. Thank you, Dexter, for having your logo up there. So LA South Chamber, so happy to have them, and all of the chamber members that have joined in with us today. Roberto, thank you so much, as always, for bringing great information. I wanted to say Joseph Duncan is online. He is our connection with the LA South Chamber. We're so grateful to have his help. He's also a core advisor and has been for many years with PCR, gives great advice. Also just want to thank our team, China Embryogeny and Leah Evans. They are awesome, always working behind the scenes to make sure you guys have what you need to be able to help your businesses to grow and succeed, as well as our advisors. So thank you all for coming today. We look forward to seeing you at our upcoming workshops, and have a wonderful day. If you didn't eat lunch, go get some fuel so you can have the rest of the afternoon to get it going. Let's make it happen, everybody, and sell, and make a profit. Have a great day. Thanks so much.
Bye, everyone.